The story of this film is slightly different from the rest of the films. The story of the movie starts in the year 1986, when we see the Hands Across America ad on TV. Now those who do not know about Hands Across America, let me tell them in brief. On May 25th, 1986, a rally benefit event was staged in America, where about 65 lakh people held each other's hands and made human chains for 15 minutes. This human chain was passing through all the major states of America, and many participants like actresses, politicians, businessmen, etc. were also donating money through this event. By doing this event, the message of eradicating poverty and hunger was being given, and the money collected from this event was donated to the local charity. So after that, we watched the Santa Cruz beach ad on TV. And in the very next scene of the movie, we also see one girl enjoying herself with her parents on Santa Cruz beach. The name of this girl was Adelaide, and Adelaide's father was playing a game on the beach. After winning, he gets a Michael Jackson t-shirt, and he wears that t-shirt to Adelaide. So while roaming on the beach, Adelaide gets a little lost, and she reaches near a mirror house, outside of which was written "Find Yourself." Adelaide goes inside the mirror house, where she sees a shadow of her own. But the surprising thing is that it is not a shadow of Adelaide, but a doppelganger. Now those who do not know the meaning of doppelganger, let me tell them that if a person looks exactly like you, so we can call him your doppelganger. So Adelaide was in shock seeing the same person as she, and she somehow runs away and comes to her parents. Little Adelaide was so shocked by this incident that she could not even speak. And Adelaide's parents said that their daughter had changed completely after returning from Santa Cruz beach. The scene changes where we see some rabbits kept in the cage. So after this, the story comes to the present, where Adelaide has grown up now, and she is married too. Adelaide's husband's name was Gabriel Gabe Wilson, and her children were named Zora and Jason. They were planning to go to Santa Cruz beach with their family on this vacation, but we can see that Adelaide did not feel like going to Santa Cruz beach at all. Perhaps Adelaide had not yet forgotten her childhood memory, where she saw her own look-alike, and she was afraid to go to Santa Cruz beach till today. Gabriel somehow convinces Adelaide, and the Wilson family goes to Santa Cruz beach to celebrate their holiday. We also see Gabriel's friend Josh on the beach, and Josh's wife's name was Kitty. Both of them had twin daughters, and all these people were enjoying themselves a lot on the beach. Gabriel buys a boat to impress his friends, and we can see that all the people here were in a very chill mood. While playing on the beach, Jason wanders some distance, where he also reaches the exact same mirror house where Adelaide went to in childhood. Jason sees a man standing outside in a strange position, and this man was wearing a red jumpsuit. Blood was dripping from this man's hands. And seeing all this, Jason immediately starts coming back to his family. Adelaide, on the other hand, was looking for her son. And seeing Jason coming toward her, Adelaide behaves completely abnormal, as if she was scared of some unknown thing. However, he does not tell anything to his family about that unknown red-dressed person, but he does make a drawing of it. The Wilson family comes back to their beach house as soon as night falls, where Adelaide tells Gabriel the story of her childhood, in which she saw her own look-alike. Adelaide said that she is still afraid of her look-alike, because she might be following Adelaide. But Gabriel takes these things very lightly. But then we see 4 people standing outside their beach house. Gabriel tries to scare away these unknown people, and Adelaide calls the police, which is 14 minutes away. But by then these 4 unknown people attack this family and enter their house. Here comes the scary part. Here we can see the face of these 4 unknown people, and these people were the doppelgangers of the Wilson family. Adelaide's doppelganger was named Red. Jason's doppelganger is named Pluto. Gabriel's doppelganger's name was Abraham, and Zora's doppelganger's name was Umbri. Among all these doppelgangers, there was only one Red who could speak very strangely, because the rest of the people probably did not even know how to speak. Red explains that they are called the tethered as they share a soul with their look-alike counterparts, and they have come to untether themselves. Red narrates a story in which there was a girl, and that girl had a shadow. The girl got good toys to play with, but her shadow had to play with sharp toys. Due to this, her hand was cut off. That girl used to eat very tasty food, but her shadow used to eat raw rabbit meat. The girl grew up and married a handsome young man whom she loved very much, but her shadow had to marry a similar person without her consent, whom she did not even love. That girl had 2 lovely children, but the children of her shadow were like monsters. After narrating this story, all the doppelgangers take their bean-shaped people to different places to kill them. Abraham takes Gabriel out of the house. Umbri follows Zora by telling her to run away. Pluto goes inside a cupboard with Jason, and Red handcuffs Adelaide to the house. A scuffle ensues between Abraham and Gabriel. Gabriel somehow defeats his doppelganger, and Zora somehow runs away from Umbri. Pluto used to copy Jason's action exactly, and Jason shows him a magic trick and locks him in the cupboard. Here we can see that Pluto's face was burnt, and being locked in the cupboard, he was making a strange grunting sound. Red goes to see Pluto, and by then Adelaide runs away with her son Jason. After running away, the people of the Wilson family reach the coastline, where Gabriel had brought his boat, and this family sits on that boat and runs away. After running, these people reach Josh and Kitty's house directly, where they realize that the doppelganger of all the people in the city has come, and they are killing the original people. Josh, Kitty, and their daughters have also been killed by their doppelganger, and this doppelganger also attacks the Wilson family. Wilson somehow kills them, and on turning on the news in the house, they come to know that doppelganger has created havoc in the entire city, and these people are making a line by holding each other's hands. These people are calling themselves the Tethered. The reporter believed that all this is a kind of protest by a group of people. All of them were wearing red jumpsuits, and they all have a scissor in their hands. Who are these people and why they are doing this? You will definitely get the answer at the end of the video. The Wilsons see the family running away with Josh's car. When they see Umbri on the way, Zora plans to ride the car over the Umbri, but Umbri somehow comes on the roof of the car and attacks them. Wilson evades the attack and kills Umbri and goes straight to that Santa Cruz boardwalk. On reaching the boardwalk, they see their own car burning, and those people also see Pluto here. Now before this Pluto attacks them, Jason comes out and starts taking his steps back, as we saw Pluto used to copy Jason's actions. So now Pluto also starts following Jason's footsteps. And on the way, Pluto gets caught in the fire of that burning car, which leads to his death. Meanwhile, Red comes here and she kidnaps Jason and runs away. Adelaide chases after Red to the funhouse where they first met. She finds a secret entrance that leads to an underground facility overrun by white rabbits, and she finds Red in a classroom. The Red tells Adelaide that many years ago, the government started a secret project inside these tunnels whose name was the Tethered. In this project, the government was able to genetically clone the people living on the surface. And the purpose behind doing this was to be able to control the surface people by genetic clones. First, cloning was used on rabbits, and with success, the government also made genetic clones of humans. But this experiment failed miserably, because scientists could make genetic clones, but they could not make human souls. Because of this, these genetic clones were of no use. And because they were tethered, they just kept copying the surface people. The government abandoned the project, and these clones kept rotting forever in the underground tunnel of the United States. These people are used to copying the activity of surface people. They breed in the same way. They used to marry the look-alike human and eat the raw meat of rabbits as food. And as we know, rabbits breed very quickly among themselves. And this is the reason why they always got enough food. Although it was raw meat, Red tells that she was different from all these clones. And that's the reason why she could speak in a strange voice, while all these clones could not speak. And to communicate with each other, they used to make a guttural, raspy voice. Red emerged as the leader of all these clones. Red came to know about all this when Adelaide, who was living on the surface, one night had a dance competition. And below, her doppelganger was also able to dance in the same way, seeing which all the clones were in shock. The clones understood that Red was quite different, and Red was able to teach doppelganger to untether from their real ones, so that she could attack the surface people by forming an army. Now there is a big secret behind this, why Red was different from the rest of the clones. We see Adelaide and Red fighting each other, and in this fight, Adelaide somehow manages to kill Red. Adelaide also finds his son Jason there, and she brings him back to the surface. The Wilson family immediately leaves in an ambulance. Then a big twist comes in front of us. Here we see the scene of that night of 1986, when little Adelaide first saw her doppelganger as a child. Adelaide's clone attacked her and knocked her unconscious, and then she dragged Adelaide to the underground. This clone wore Adelaide's clothes, and then she came to the surface herself, leaving the real Adelaide in the underground tunnel. The real Adelaide has been trapped in the underground tunnel since childhood, and after coming on her clone surface started living a normal life. This is the reason why Adelaide was not saying anything after meeting her parents on the beach in 1986, because she was not Adelaide but her clone, and she could not speak. Living on the surface, this clone learned to live, speak, laugh, cry, and everything like a normal human being. And she knew that there were many clones in the underground tunnel. That's why Adelaide didn't want to come back to Santa Cruz Beach, because she was afraid that the real Adelaide might come to the surface and attack her. This also tells us that if we give a proper life to the clone, so those people on surface can do everything like us. They can mix with us, although there will be no soul inside them. On the other hand, it also understands why Red was different from the rest of the clones, because it was not a clone at all. The Red was actually the real Adelaide who was left underground by her clone as a child. This is the reason why Red could dance and she could also speak. The real Adelaide always knew there was a better world on the surface, and she started building an army of these clones. As we know, whoever has a voice can be a leader. And so all the clones started considering the real Adelaide as their leader. And after many years of planning, the real Adelaide was able to attack the surface world with the help of all these clones. The rest of the clones were killing their real ones very soon. But the real Adelaide wanted her clone to realize her mistake. But even in the end, she killed the real Adelaide, not the clone. In the last scene of the movie, we see this clone smiling, and Jason was looking at his mother as if he understood these things. The movie ends here. Now, friends, I know that there must be some confusion in the minds of many of you. That's why I'm clicking on all the doubts of all of you. I will throw light on some theories related to this film. So friends, when the movie starts, so we see Hands Cross America's ad, which is significant in the film. Adelaide had seen this ad in childhood, and after being imprisoned in underground tunnels, taking this charity event as her inspiration, she trained the clones, so that these clones also attack the surface world and stand in the same way, to convey their message clearly to the government. The message was that even these clones deserve a better life, and this is the reason why we can also see these clones standing in a line in that movie. Now, if these clones had got a good life, then they could also be like humans. And its biggest example is Adelaide herself. Now, if we talk about dressing these clones, then we see them with red jumpsuits, one-handed gloves, and golden scissors, which has a deep meaning. At the beginning of the movie, we see little Adelaide demanding Michael Jackson's Thriller t-shirt. And in the video of Thriller song, Michael Jackson was wearing one-hand gloves. Taking this as her inspiration, Red incorporated the gloves into the dress code. And she also designed the red jumpsuit, keeping in mind the old Hollywood film. Scissors' direct reference is from the Nightmare on Elm Street movie, which was released in 1984. Friend, scissors signifies another very important thing, and that concept is two identical bodies connected with one soul. Just like two scissors are made of two similar blades, a bolt connects in the middle. Similarly, humans and their clones were also very similar, whose souls connect with each other. That was the purpose of Red throughout the movie, that she somehow cut this connection, so that she can live the normal life which she deserves. Another study we find in this is when we see a person standing with a board of Jeremiah 11 verse 11. We see the clone of this person in the tunnel, and his forehead was also cut at 11:11. At several places in the film, we are shown 11:11, such as the digital table clock's time inside the house. Wilson's family's shadow on the beach looks like 11:11. This has been shown repeatedly by the director in the movie because there is a deep meaning behind it. If you Google Jeremiah 11 verse 11, you will come to know about a book whose name is the Book of Jeremiah. This book is a part of the Bible Old Testament. And if you look at the book containing the Hebrew or the English version of the Christian Bible, you will find a paragraph related to Jeremiah. The paragraph says, "Therefore thus saith the Lord, Behold, I will bring evil upon them, which they shall not be able to escape, and though they shall cry unto me, I will not hearken unto them." That is if a person worships the wrong God. So God will shower their lot of suffering or misery, and God will not come to help them, even in a time of need. In the film, we all see people of surface heavily invested in modern technology. And when the time comes, this technology will not be of any help to human beings, because those people were invested in these technologies but not invested in God. For example, Adelaide calls 911, but the police were 14 minutes away. Kitty tries to inform the police with the help of a voice assistant lying in the house. But this virtual voice assistant does play music. Gabriel Wilson buys a boat on the beach, but the Wilson family can't get away with the help of the boat. 11:11 also shows us the existence of the clone, because even if you reverse 11:11, it will look the same. And these numbers are connected by a colon, which signifies their soul. Tell me, did you like this whole information? If you like the explanation, please subscribe and share with your friends. Thanks for watching.